Alrighty, we did a little bit of work in class, and now we're going to get ready for a quiz the next time you're in class. And it's just over one section, so it's just a small quiz. It is formulas and literal equations, and so we're going to get started with that right here. And so here we go. This is what the worksheet looks like. We're going to start off right here. Just a little number one, just to make sure you remember how to do that. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to substitute. You need to substitute, 6 for M. You need to substitute 2 and 2 for Q. This is how I want you to write it. We're just going to write it down like this. 6 plus 1 plus Q plus Q. And then we're just going to put it in the calculator and add it up. So that would be 4, 5, and 11 is the answer. Okay, I think you can do that. That's all this is. I'm going to spend more time on the harder problems, and so I'll move on. So let's go ahead and do right here. So I'm going to look at 7 here. We're going to do 7. That looks like it's harder. We're going to look at 11. That looks like it's harder. Definitely we're going to do 13. And I think that's a good mix of what we need to do here. How about 12? Let's do those. All right. So here we go. All right, 7. I'm going to write it down here. Z equals A plus M. And I'm going to solve for A. Okay, so that's right here. I'm going to get A by itself. All right, that means I just opposite operation. All right, and so then I'm just going to have A equals Z minus M is going to be Z minus M. Done. That was number 7. All right, we're going to move on to number 11. All right. Number 11, negative 4AK equals 5. And again, we're going to solve for A. Okay, so basically all I need to do here is I need to divide by everything that's not A, because that means negative 4 times A times K. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to divide by negative 4. I'm going to divide by K. We've got to do that on both sides. Negative 4K. Okay. So that cancels, that cancels, that cancels. So all that's left is A equals, well, I don't like leaving the negative there. So normally what I do is I just write the whole problem. A positive divided by a negative is going to be a negative. So I just write this. Make sure that 4K is on bottom. All right, moving on to 12. All right, 12. Negative 2A minus 3K. Some people get confused now that we have numbers, but don't. We're going to go ahead and solve for A. Okay, so again, we're solving for A. That's just kind of been the theme. You got to make sure they tell you what letter to solve for, though. All right, so this is like a normal equation, 2-step. I need to get stuff away. So to get this away, cancel, plus 3K. Rewrite. Negative 4 plus 3K. Order doesn't really matter. It could be 3K minus 4. All right, let's just go ahead and do this here. Okay, and this one I picked because, you can do that. That's just regular numbers. Negative 4 divided by negative 2 is just 2. Okay? You can't do this. You can't simplify the fraction. And I'm going to make the whole thing negative, so I'm just going to write minus 3K over 2. All right, moving on down the road to 13. 13 is a crazy fraction. Equals a crazy fraction. Otherwise known as a proportion. When we hear proportion, we should think cross multiplication. Okay? Let's go ahead and straighten that up a little bit so it's sort of straight. So I'm going to cross multiply. And what are we solving for? We're solving for x. Okay. We're solving for this guy. Okay. So there are other ways to do this. Once you are really good at cross multiplication, there are some shortcuts that are acceptable. But for now, I'm just going to do it full out. So that would be dx. D times x is dx. C times r is cr. What if I put rc? Would that be okay? Sure. Let's go ahead and divide by everything that's not x. So d. So x equals cr over. And that is that. So let's go ahead and move on to these problems down here. This is going to be super important in our future. And so I'm going to pick a few. I'm going to pick this one. And I'm going to pick this one. And I'm going to pick this one. Okay. You can't see what I picked. That's terrible. That's a terrible, horrible situation. 17, 22, 27. All right, let's see if we can get those done. All right, little camera shake. 17. X minus y equals -6. Okay, what I actually like to do with these is I like to go ahead and put a 1 in front of everything just because it helps me. So I know I'm going to subtract 1x. I'm going to subtract 1x. So then it's -1y equals -1x minus 6. Now I have to divide by -1 because -1 divided by -1 is positive. So that's what I want. So I get a y. So I got to divide this by -1 and this by -1. Negative times divided by a negative is a positive. I don't need the 1 anymore, so I can just write an x, or I could write a 1x. -6 divided by -1 is +6. I am done, and of course that was 17. Okay, now we move on to 22. All right. Most of these are basically all the same as far as the rhythm. But if we can get this now, when we actually have to use it, it will be really, really nice. So that's why we're going to work a lot of these, even though they have kind of the same steps over and over and over again. Okay? We're going to take away the x's because we're solving for y. All right. So I get 6y equals -13x plus 30. They're not like terms, so you have to leave them separate. Now I'm going to divide by 6, divide by 6, divide by 6. So I get y. I can't simplify -13 over 6, so I leave it -13 over 6. I can simplify this. 30 divided by 6 is going to be 5, and we are done. 27. (11x minus 4y equals the 24). Okay, I'm going to subtract 11x from both sides. I'm going to get -4y equals -11x plus 24. Now I'm going to divide by -4. Divide by -4. Divide by -4. I'm going to get y equals -11 divided by 4. I'm just going to leave it a fraction. It becomes a positive, negative. Becomes a positive. Leave it as a fraction here. And 24, that's going to turn that 24 divided by -4. It's going to make a negative or a minus answer. So 24 divided by 4 is going to be 6. And I'm done again. All right, good luck. Finish this all. Remember, your quiz is going to basically consist of these problems. We're going to have about 10 of them. All right. That's it. See ya.